Buonasera, 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 benvenuti anche questa sera su Genshin Impact. Allora, noi partiamo qua da Mondstadt perché ormai è il mio punto preferito, sulla cima della statua dell'Archon Anemo, ma il nostro obiettivo è sempre Sumeru. Quindi riprendiamo da dove abbiamo lasciato ieri, o quasi, in realtà, perché io ho dato una breve esplorazione, ho dato un'occhiata a questa parte della mappa, non ho manco preso questi due, scandaloso. Ma il nostro obiettivo è appunto Sumeru City, che dovrebbe essere a due passi ormai. Perciò ho sbagliato tutto. Perciò noi prendiamo e andiamo, nella speranza di menare un po' di più le mani questa sera, perché ieri sera abbiamo fatto poco e niente in termini di combattimento, c'è stato un bel po' da parlare, come ho detto è comprensibile considerando un po' la situazione, il fatto che abbiamo raggiunto un nuovo continente, diciamo, il fatto che dobbiamo conoscere i nuovi personaggi che andranno ad accompagnare la nostra avventura, ma ciò non toglie che comunque abbiamo passato 2 ore in cui il combattimento è avvenuto. Il combattimento è avvenuto per una ventina di minuti a essere larghi. Ah sì, giusto. Fra l'altro è diventato giorno, ma va bene.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Come fai a saperlo? Chi sei tu? Oh.
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no
Akasha?
need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device.
Ma dai.
Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge.
Forse ce ne avevano parlato
After
ieri.
centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal.
Sì.
As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need.
Ma che cazzo?
I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Oh, so
Ok.
this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about.
Ah, ecco, infatti.
Sounds pretty amazing.
Sì, ma perché loro non lo avevano?
You two are quite fortunate.
Perché non funziona nei
Until
boschi?
recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was
beh,
recently
sensato, in
changed,
realtà.
and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival.
Così a
Here are
gratis?
your Akasha terminals.
Ah, è tipo il
Please handle them
focus
with care.
di Horizon. Ok. Figo.
It kinda looks like a leaf.
Immagino che sia
To
voluta la
activate
cosa.
it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Oh, says this
Minchia,
little key
comodo.
lets you access
Un po' più
knowledge.
lunga,
Maybe
no?
we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Si è acceso davvero? La Madonna. Ma pure a Paimon?
Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing.
È anche uno
Seems all
scouter
we need to do is
praticamente.
concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it.
Bam!
Oh, that'll come in real handy.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha.
Madonna
And with
santa.
that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try.
Ok.
500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Suristana.
Ok.
Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us.
Quindi sappiamo dove andare.
Next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Huh? Paimon doesn't sense anything. The Akasha didn't respond to Paimon's question.
Lo stesso è accaduto al Traveler, quindi probabilmente non c'è questa informazione.
Focusing on this question feels like
La Madonna, non hai fatto niente. Possiamo trovare le informazioni in altri modi, forse.
Smart idea. But what are you going to ask it?
Che cosa fa di giorno? Why doesn't the action... Ok, l'Esser Lord Kusanari. L'Esser Lord Kusanari. There wasn't anything... ok, perfetto. Molto bene.
You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon.
Perché la Kasha non risponde alle mie domande? Come sono la Kasha doesn't condition respond to every query. Chiaramente risponde solamente alla roba di cui sa la risposta. Also, even if the same query is requested... Non ho letto!
Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive
Ah,
an
dici che c'è
answer
tipo un
to this
ranking
sort of question or
system?
something.
Di quanto sei degno? Allora proviamo a pensare al Great Lord Rakademamt. Many bright dots. I probably need to calm my mind and focus more to understand what we... Treasure, intimacy, nostalgia, sadness, and anxiety also come to my mind. These seem to be what the people of Sumeru feel about their departed Archon. Affection, intimacy, nostalgia, sadness, and anxiety. Perché anxiety? Cioè gli altri sono comprensibili, ma l'anxiety? Forse perché è morto e quindi dicono no, la situazione è brutta.
Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tainari recommended.
Beh, però scusami.
And even has a position in the academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha.
Però scusami, com'è che la gente sente la mancanza del Greater Lord cazzi e mazzi quando Kusanari è in capo da... cioè in carica da 500 anni? Cioè, tutta sta gente aveva i nonni dei propri nonni che sono nati con Kusanali già al potere, quindi perché hanno ancora questo sentimento di nostalgia per Cap the Cats? Amore, ciao!
Tainari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's not far from the city's gate.
Vieni qui, Tatina.
Let's head over and have a look.
È strana però sta cosa,
Are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great. You see,
Non c'è le
Tainari
vesciche
sent
sulle
us
mani e
here
non so il
and-
perché.
What? Tainari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
Sus.
This is a letter from Tainari.
Oh, let me see... Oh, ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So, you two just have some questions for me?
A quanto pare.
Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
Come arrivare a Kusanali.
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself?
Sì.
This isn't
Una roba da
exactly
poco alla
my
fine
area
dei
of
conti, dai.
expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha.
Niente.
Sorry,
Eccolo qua.
the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that?
Che faccio?
Paimon was sure you'd be able to access more info than we did.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Ah, quindi è sempre lì dentro.
Didn't expect her to be such a
Vieni qui.
mysterious figure.
Vieni, tata.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain
Eccoci qua.
visitors, which
Ciao.
would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
Aw, but then what can we do?
Entriamo di forza.
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas.
Ho capito a
And besides,
cazzo.
you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing.
Per quale
In
motivo?
this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom.
Ma che cazzo
Take
stai
me, for
dicendo?
example.
Cioè
It's
sì,
a
però...
miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tainari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me.
I've been promoted. Cioè, quindi roba completamente
Hey, come
inutile.
on. This is a
Per noi
survival
non serve
skill
un
at the
cazzo.
academia.
Oh, Paimon's expectations were pretty low, but this is so low, it's like digging holes in the dirt.
La madonna. La
So what do
madonna.
we do now?
Cattiveria.
Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here.
In effetti c'è una persona che conosciamo?
Huh? Like who?
È vero!
Oh,
C'è
you're
Catherine!
Catherine!
Oops,
The
rotto
Adventurers
tutto.
Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
Cazzo. Vabbè, Catherine ci sarà sempre... Sempre fedele, dai, con tutte le meraviglie che abbiamo fatto per... Oh, aspetta, innanzitutto prendo il coso qua. Eccolo qua.
Can't touch me.
E altre 5 primo. Bam! In tasca. Let's go. Ad Astra Abysask.
Hello, traveler in Paimon.
Ciao, Catherine!
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha.
Cristo.
I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Aww, another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Comunque, posso dire che il fatto che Catherine dica personal memory mi fa pensare che un po' sia tipo un bot con delle coscienze condivise in ogni città in cui andiamo. Perché è sempre la stessa persona, con sempre la stessa voce, sempre lo stesso stile di vestiario, gli stessi capelli, la stessa faccia, e ci riconosce ogni volta in ogni posto in cui andiamo, e ha una memoria condivisa a quanto pare, quindi è fondamentalmente un robot con una coscienza condivisa in diverse istanze, mi verrebbe da dire.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two.
Attenzione,
In
il
Sumeru,
plot twist.
the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites.
Attenzione.
They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight within mercenary
Ah, un
circles.
pezzo grosso,
If
quindi.
you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Rexar.
Ok, quindi sono tipo i Knights of Favonius, una roba del genere. Grazie
You're
mille.
I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
Vedrai, farò faville anche qui, Catherine.
Alright, off to the Citadel of Rexar we go!
È giusto di qua? Spero di sì. Sì, eccolo qua. Oddio, ma questi sono tipo i... i palazzi di World of Warcraft in cui entri, tutto circolare, ci sono gli NPC con cui parlare.
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you to.
Cioè, io non ho giocato per tantissimo tempo a World of Warcraft, però mi ha ricordato questa cosa immediatamente, tipo.
We'd like to ask you about something.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way.
Già.
Ha! It's true that the Eremites network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Oh, dai, non fare il modesto.
Wait, seriously? That's it?
No, davvero.
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you. We originally
Perfetto.
came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands to carve out a living. We don't beg gods for their aid. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Oh? Why's that?
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late greater Lord Rugadavada.
Ma perché sta cosa? Cioè, non vedono Kusanali come una nuova divinità, praticamente.
Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy.
Ho capito, ma è una
Because
bambina,
of the
cioè.
Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rugadavada and hold her in greater esteem.
Ma
Not to
balle il tempo.
Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance. And the
questo è un po' un
Academia
problema.
never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists. And that's all.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that, Paimon sort of feels bad for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ma infatti, poraccia.
But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the God of Wisdom doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
Farebbe anche bene, in realtà, essendo una divinità, a sbattersene il cazzo di quello che pensate voi umani. Però.
No problem. Always happy to help out the Adventurers Guild.
Bravo, Asfan, tu sì che sai come gestire gli affari. Ok, quindi non sappiamo davvero un cazzo su come arrivare all'Archon.
Seems Osfund was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it.
Vabbè, questi però c'è.
We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru. But the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems.
E il fatto che questi studiosi si basino così tanto sulla conoscenza di questo Aksha e che arrivino a dire cose del tipo: se Aksha non vuole che lo sappia, allora non ho bisogno di saperlo, dimostra quanto poco siano acculturati veramente e semplicemente sono delle scimmie con internet, un po' come gli umani, un po' come noi umani, cioè hanno potenzialmente la conoscenza di tutto il mondo, ma poi alla fine non sanno davvero nulla, no? Cioè, se uno mi chiedesse la capitale della Bolivia, io non saprei rispondere, ma se avessi internet potrei cercarlo e dare una risposta coerente e sensata. Senza internet però non so un cazzo. Quindi è un disastro. Studiosi un par de palle.
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Sì, problemi?
Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali, right?
Sì.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad, one of Lesser Lord Kusanali's faithful followers.
Ah?
Whoa,
Ha dei seguaci?
really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon.
Ovvero?
Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the Dendro Archon. In despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
Sto presa
And
bene,
then
dai.
the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying
Bella
on his own
questa,
strength,
questa,
he
questa
managed to
storia.
overcome the adversity. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon.
Ma che bella
She
questa
said,
storia.
"O Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you.
Fantastica.
Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go."
È molto carina questa storia, perché effettivamente è quello che in fin dei conti dovrebbe essere la logica umana, no? Cioè, non sperare che qualcuno ti tolga dalle rogne in cui ti trovi, ma avere la forza e la capacità di superare le rogne che naturalmente avvengono nella vita di ognuno, no? Che figata, molto bellina.
Yeah, thanks for the
Ho apprezzato
story.
molto.
Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two know that,
Che l'è?
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Perché è presa male? Che succede?
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened?
Cioè, credo che abbia a che fare con quella gente lì
It looks
fuori.
like they're
Cioè, lì
searching
giù.
for someone. Dunyarzad was acting super
Ah,
nervous.
stavano cercando lei?
You think they're looking for her? This stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali!
Infatti,
They
che
can't let them
cazzo.
get in the way now. Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad.
Ma mi sembra un po'
Hey.
cattivo. Ah, ecco.
Have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Perché la state cercando?
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her.
Sì, ma chiedere perché la stanno cercando? Cioè, anche prima di dare informazioni false. Magari è una criminale davvero.
That should keep him busy for a while.
Che ne sai?
Hurry and find Dunyarzad.
Vabbè. E dove andare? Qui dentro? Dove sta? Fatti il giro. Eccola qua, si è nascosta. Giustamente, stavano cercando.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Che nomi difficili
Oh,
però,
it's you
Cristo.
two.
Dunyarzad.
Startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for me.
Ehi,
Oh, looks
chi è
like
sto
there's some
micetto?
coming this way.
Ma se tipo li sterminiamo tutti, non facciamo prima? Ma ci puoi dire perché ti stanno cercando
What
prima
are we
ancora?
standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape.
Ciao.
It's difficult for me to run.
E possiamo nasconderci.
Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to. They probably wouldn't expect me to hide in a place like that.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
Ah, sarebbe questa la taverna. Oh, un disco. Mio. Lì. Che bello essere sempre ricoperto di micetti. Se ne va una e arriva l'altro.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait, stand down, Dia.
Credo di averla già vista questa. Era nella presentazione dell'evento, cioè
My lady,
dei
who are these two?
banner. Cos'era un nuovo personaggio?
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for you.
Ah, quindi lei è il capo di quelli?
Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss
Non ho capito.
Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns
ok.
home safe and sound.
Ah, vedi, quindi erano effettivamente
My
le sue guardie
lady,
del
let's get
corpo.
going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
Che
It'd
modi.
be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Come?
Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation.
No, però potresti
Sorry, my lady.
spiegarcela.
Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
E qua c'ha
How
ragione.
much?
C'ha ragione.
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
Addirittura.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles.
Ok, mi
That's
piace.
why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do. And knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt you.
Oh no.
For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
Ah, è malata anche
No,
lei?
you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. They still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been living with us a long time already. This should be old news to you. Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to.
Qualcun altro?
Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents.
Sta parlando di Lesser Lord Kusanali per caso?
So I want to do something meaningful.
Ok, tipo?
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Fine, I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination,
Oh.
not because I agree with you.
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being so rude just now. My nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your payment in such an offensive way.
Vabbè, dai.
Don't worry about
Se
it.
ne
my
fa una
lady.
ragione.
I did say that I like Mora. Besides, that's our next topic of conversation.
Ah, ecco.
Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me.
Ah.
We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Ok, quindi dai, sembra essere una personcina a modo. Quantomeno.
Looks like they've reached an understanding.
Sì, adesso le info. Forza? Dice? Eccola lì. Mo' infarta, non abbiamo risolto un cazzo, stai a vedere.
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough.
We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like for you to join us.
Sure, after you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Sì, grazie. Che musica. Jazz noir.
Ha! Well, if it isn't Dia. Haven't seen you in nearly half a year. Word
Addirittura.
on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Ha! Don't you find that kind of work boring?
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it. Huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often. We'll be sure to prepare our very best.
Bravo, dottor.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
No, ma infatti
Wait,
paghiamo da
we're
soli.
paying for ourselves now? Aw, Paimon kind of wanted to try something fancy, but we aren't exactly loaded. Guess Paimon will settle for something ordinary.
Paimon, abbiamo più di 14 milioni di mora in tasca. Sono sicuro che qualsiasi sia il piatto più costoso qua dentro, tu te ne possa mangiare almeno 2 senza creare troppi problemi alle nostre finanze. Sarò sincero con te.
How about our coconut charcoal cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap.
Coconut charcoal?
Other customers over there are eating some now.
Ah, sono noci di cocco ricoperte di cioccolato, ok.
And dry. Paimon will pass.
Ma no, dai. Ma abbiamo cucinato gli slime prima d'ora.
What do you have against my slime dishes?
Niente, però, vabbè.
Dunyarzad, we asked a lot of
Figa.
people when we first arrived.
Quanto cibo.
And almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Ci sono le polpette che sono grandi quanto la faccia, praticamente. Guarda quanto sono grandi. Ma che è? Sono delle zucche, non sono delle polpette.
If I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Ah sì? Dove, quando e come?
Yes, it was when I was a child.
Ah,
At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year.
speriamo un po'
I was stuck
meglio di questa
inside and
cagata
couldn't make
Dante,
any
vero?
friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night,
Minchia.
I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was no sound. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry. Who are you? How do you know my name? How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you.
Questa cosa è un po' ansiogena, posso dirlo?
Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals on your mom's skirt. Wow, you really do know everything. Dunyarzad, is there anything you want?
Guarire?
What?
Immagino.
Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything.
Sai cosa potrebbe risolvere la situazione? Guarire.
But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want, and maybe I can make it happen. And can you make my illness go
C'è arrivata, incredibile.
away? Oh,
Ah, madonna.
I'm sorry. But I'm not powerful enough to do that right now.
Lasciamo un po' a desiderare come divinità, Kusanali, però.
Can you be my friend?
Oh. cosa carina.
After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend."
E poi non si sono
Although my
mai più
body was
sentiti.
suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel.
Wall of
Deserts,
Samiel
and
suona
all of
tanto da
Tibet.
roba da Attack on
Once I
Titan.
finally made it
Comunque.
through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Tibet.
Ok. Quindi
Yes,
era
for
l'essere
sure.
Lord Kusanali.
If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world, nor would I have learned how to read and enjoy so many books. That voice
Come?
sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon.
Cioè, quindi mi stai dicendo che voi di solito non imparate a leggere come base? Perché cioè, tu che sei di famiglia ricca, neanche tu avresti imparato a leggere se non fosse stato per quella per quella chiacchierata?
I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness.
Come?
In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Sub-Zero's festival for her.
What's the Sub-Zero's festival?
Sub-Zero, è tipo
It's Lesser
quello
Lord
di
Kusanali's
quello di
birthday,
Mortal Kombat,
which was the day that she
Sub-Zero,
was found by the sages. It's
Raiden,
actually
no?
a holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival. The Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sub-Zero's festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist.
Addirittura.
Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death. So they're reluctant to celebrate.
Sì, però figlio mio. Perché ce l'hanno così tanto con Kusanali? Non
It is.
capisco.
It's absolutely
Cioè,
terrible.
mantieni la roba, no?
Sure, the
Mantieni
Greater
la
Lord founded
la
Sumeru,
facciata.
but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away now.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zero's festival to this day. But I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Oh,
I gave her my
attenzione.
savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this
Oh,
year.
merda.
That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ti sei fatta scammare?
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilu, the one who sends flowers to the estate?
Yes, that's her.
Ti sei fatta scammare?
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you give her something?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much more prepared, so I had Nilu sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilu to meet up
Ti
at
sei
the Grand
fatta
Bazaar
scammare.
today and
Perfetto.
see how things are coming along. Dia, would you accompany me?
Sure. That's quite the trip, though. I'll carry you.
Ah, sì?
No.
Lei
that
ha
would be
Big
too
Mommy
much.
vibes
Keep room for you.
comunque.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
Oh, noi assolutamente veniamo
But
con
of
voi.
course, Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ok,
Make my
I guess. Non lo so, mi sembra strano che questa Nilu sia così convenientemente felice di preparare questo festival accettando i soldi di qualcun altro. Oh no, ho sbagliato strada, vero? Sì.
and away I go.
Oh, porte che si aprono da sole. Attenzione. È lei!
Sorry I'm late, Nilu.
Oh, Dunyarzad.
Ok, forse non è
It
uno
was taking
scam.
you so long that I assumed you got trapped at home, but you made it in the end. Uh-oh. But if Dia's here, that means you got caught, right?
You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
Not completely.
Oh,
Finché la pagano va bene
and who are
così.
these two?
Ciao.
Meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends. They're visitors who just arrived at Sumeru City and are looking for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali.
So you're followers from another land?
Non proprio followers, però facciamo di
That's
sì.
wonderful. You two absolutely mustn't miss the Sub-Zerus festival.
Anche lei è un po' tragica
By the
come
way,
doppiatore,
We've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar. It looks spectacular.
Un po',
Thanks to
un
your
po'
generous
mediocre.
contribution.
Poco...
You're very welcome.
Poco animo.
It's the only thing I could do. Do you still have enough more?
Probably? But don't sweat it. We've already finished renovating the stage. Come on, I'll show you.
Catch me! Wow! This place is amazing!
Posso dire che mi sento un po' preso in giro quando il gameplay ricomincia fra una cazzina e l'altra per un totale di 2 secondi netti per fare 3 metri in totale. Cioè, fammi proseguire la cazzina e basta, non c'è bisogno che mi fai questa cosa, che mi fai riprendere il gioco, mi fai un mini caricamento, poi di nuovo fade in... No, fai continuare la cazzina e basta. Tanto ormai, quant'è? Sono 46 minuti che stiamo giocando, abbiamo fatto 40 minuti di cutscene. Dai, tira dritto e pace, dai.
Not bad.
Ce ne facciamo una
Last time I
ragione.
was here, the stairs were full of holes.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off. Mr. Zubair was worried.
Mr.
sick.
Zubat,
We
ok,
reported
Mr.
it to the
Zubat.
academia many times, but they never sent anyone to deal with it.
Un po' pezzi di stronzo questa accademia, eh.
So we were going to cancel all the stage performances.
Perché non è venuto nessuno di
Oh,
questi
probably
facce di
because it was the
cazzo?
theater asking.
The academia looks down on performers like us.
Mm.
They probably think it would be best if the theater closed down completely. We can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be able to hold the Sub-Zerus festival anymore.
Le priorità.
Thank the Dendro Archon for
Le
doing
priorità.
Zod. But the more she gave us, we hired someone to patch up the tree, and we also gave the stage a much-needed makeover.
Tutto
The
vendendo
stage is going
una
to be even prettier
una
when it's
gonna?
festival time.
Wow.
Wait for you to see it.
Porca troia, quanto devi
wait to see
essere
what it
ricca e
says.
sfondata.
You've been practicing so long already. It's almost time for your dream to become reality.
Ti prego, dimmi che almeno canti meglio di Yunjin, che lei fa
It's our
cagare
dream.
fortissimo.
I'll do my best for the two of us.
Ok.
Nilu,
Sembra
what are you
sincero,
gonna be
ok.
doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Sub-Zerus, the most important performance at the Sub-Zerus festival.
Junior Zod, have you told him the origin of this holiday?
Yes.
I only told them about the Greater Lord and Lesser Lord so far.
Perché c'è altro?
Then I'll tell you two about how this holiday came to be.
Vai.
According to legend, the Sub-Zerus festival was originally the Goddess of Flowers' birthday celebration for the Greater Lord. A long, long time ago, on one of Greater Lord Rukadevata's birthdays, her friends threw her a celebratory banquet. Some of the gods got drunk. One started playing music, and the Greater Lord started singing, so the Goddess of Flowers began to dance. As she danced
Interessante.
upon the grass, countless beautiful padisars began to bloom wherever she stepped. Those brilliant purple flowers became her dazzling stage. All the gods clamored, "Oh, if only time could stop at this very moment."
Beh, se la so goduta.
Of course they did. When people mention the gods, they always think of the Archon War. But Sumeru's gods also had happy times.
Pure quello
They don't run around
dell'animo,
anymore,
considerando
but
che
preserved
beve
in our
come uno
tradition of
stronzo.
dance. This outfit I'm wearing is apparently based on how the Goddess of Flowers looked. Though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered Padisaras around the stage.
Carini.
They symbolize the Goddess of Flowers, after all.
Oh
It's
no.
just a shame that all the real Patisaras went extinct after her death.
Oh no.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth Patisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful purple.
Thinking
Ok.
about the goddess of flowers dance makes me wish I could have seen it.
E com'è morta questa
If my
divinità dei
stage were
fiori?
anything like that, I'd be thrilled if I had just 2 real Patisaras on the stage. So, Traveler and Paimon, what do you think? Interested in the Sabzeruz festival? Will you two be coming?
Ah, faccio
All of Lesser
cazzo.
Lord Kusanali's followers will be there for her birthday. It'll be a good opportunity for you to learn more about her.
Per l'appunto, assolutamente dobbiamo venire.
Ooh, Paimon thinks that's a great idea!
Confermo. Sicuro che non vuoi solo divertirti?
Come on! There's nothing wrong with enjoying a festival. Besides,
Vero anche
it's
questo.
Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. She'll be happy to have more people who are celebrating it.
Speriamo.
So how about we all attend the Sub-Zerus festival together?
Certo. Si può fare.
Junior Zod, let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Traveler and Paimon, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then feel free to explore the area.
Sì.
Everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Sabzeruz festival.
In that case, we'll take a look around.
Ok, quindi c'è questa piccola, diciamo, categoria di persone che sono ancora affezionate al Lesser Lord Kusanali e per questo, bene o male, sono un po', diciamo, shunned, ripudiate da quelli dell'Accademia. Ah, ok.
Things are really shaping up, and there's a buzz around the festival this year. We're expecting people from all over to come by this year and buy things during the festivities. Don't be fooled into thinking that Sumeru City has the best of everything. Some festival snacks are only offered here in the Grand Bazaar.
Addirittura, va
And when
bene.
it comes to musicians, dancers, or singers, the Grand Bazaar's got the best of the best. Sure, those folks at the Academia might not like it, but what's a festival without song and dance?
Questo mi ricorda un po' tipo il Gobbo di Notre Dame, che fra l'altro io non ho mai visto. Quella dicotomia fra la chiesa e i cristiani e dall'altra parte i gypsies, gli zingari, che si godevano la vita, facevano questa festa enorme in paese. È abbastanza simile come situazione, no? Nel senso che appunto l'Accademia sono i cristiani che hanno il loro credo e si rifiutano di essere contaminati da altre culture. E poi ci sono gli zingari che sarebbero questi del Gran Bazar. Fra l'altro anche Nilo mi sembra abbastanza simile il suo vestito rispetto a quello che si potrebbe vedere addosso a Esmeralda, si chiamava? La tipa di del Gobbo di Notre Dame.
Whoa! What's with your yellow hair?
Ti piacciono?
Look so
Sono
funny.
fighi, eh?
Are you an Outlander?
Sì.
Did you know that the Sabzeruz festival is about to happen? There'll be loads of fun things to do at the festival. The best part is when Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, passes out candy to everyone.
Ah. Knight of Flowers. C'è un guerriero dei fiori. Ok.
Dancing at the Sub-Zerus festival. You know, I also danced when I was younger. As a child, I even asked my grandmother why we performed the dance for the Lesser Lord when it was originally done to honor the Greater Lord. My grandmother
E lei ha risposto, vabbè, finché facciamo festa, che ce
Lord
fo?
Rukkhadevata is a beloved deity and honored by all. And Lesser Lord Kusanali is too. If the goddess of flowers ever knew Lesser Lord Kusanali, then she would certainly have wished to be her friend and hold celebrations for her too. The Sub-Zerus festival has been losing its appeal over the years. That is, until a wealthy benefactor stepped in this year and brought the festival back to life. I heard she forked out a lot of mora to make it all happen.
Comunque loro più che a Kusanali, al Greater Lord cazzi e mazzi, mi sembrano più vicini, diciamo, a quella divinità dei fiori, no? Perché appunto il focus della chiacchierata di prima erano i fiori che sono andati estinti. Lei dice, se noi seguiamo Kusanali, perché se la divinità dei fiori l'avesse conosciuta come ha conosciuto Greater Lord Capodocaz, gli sarebbe piaciuto allo stesso modo. Quindi, ok, credo.
Huh. Revamping the stage for the festival couldn't have been easy, that's for sure. I bet this year's festival will be one to remember.
Oh sì.
I don't know much about the Grand Bazaar, but I do know that the residents here have a penchant for song and dance. Two things that the academia doesn't particularly approve of.
Non ho la più pallida idea di cosa voglia dire penchant. Propensione. Simpatia, inclinazione, tendenza. Ok. Penchant. Ho scoperto una parola nuova. È bello imparare le cose.
Oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. The fragrances are longer lasting and they're gentler on your skin and... I mean, that's what I've heard at least.
Certo.
Milu, your outfit looks amazing. There's also something different about you from when we first met up.
I thought I'd add a little extra pizzazz to my dress for the festival. See?
Wow, did you sew all that yourself?
Uh-huh. Sewing is a fun
lei è
little
idro.
skill for everyone in the theater company because we make all our own costumes.
Ah, ho visto solo ora la sua vision.
Mr. Zubair not only can make costumes, but props too. I've noticed that you can't keep your eyes off that crown over there. Would you like to try it on?
May I?
Of course. The legends say that the goddess of flowers had beautiful horns on her head, so this crown was made to reflect that. Dunyazad,
No, fa vedere, fa
you
vedere.
look absolutely stunning with it on.
Ma non è vero, ma non
It's
c'è
like I'm looking
nessuna...
at the goddess of flowers herself.
Non c'è nessuna corona. Ma non è vero. Comunque, sta soundtrack mi ricorda davvero troppo. Mi ricorda tantissimo le musiche che ci sono in Kingdom Hearts quando vai ad Agrabah, sia nel primo che nel secondo. Agrabah sarebbe il mondo di Aladdin, e bene o male è sensato perché, insomma, le ambientazioni quelle sono, Però, devo subito che apro un attimo la porta, così scorre un pochino d'aria, si spera. E con si spera intendo chiaramente prego Dio che tiri un minimo di vento, perché sennò muoio di caldo. Che guarda?
Come to think of it, Hyman's only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break.
Sus.
Hey, Catherine?
Sus.
Oh, hey!
Ah, no.
It's the Traveler and Paimon. What's shaken?
What's shaken?
Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Hyman was still waiting for her to say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild doesn't require any complicated functions. But saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Tevat to enrich your lives and gain new experiences.
Adesso.
Well, we enjoy traveling across Tevat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues about her brother.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily at our intended destination. Instead, they're found along the way.
Giusto.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently? Anyways,
Di chi sta parlando? Mica ho capito. Sei una fanatica del Sub-Zero Festival?
No, not particularly.
No, ma devi
I guess
sgasare
you
proprio
could
qua
say that
sotto,
I'm
figlio di
loving the
una
recent
puttana
atmosphere
bastarda.
here. If festivals
Il
bring
cinquantino qua
happiness to
sotto.
everyone, then that's where their true
Figa, ma
value
schiantati
lies.
3 volte. Stronzo.
Oh, it looks like it's about time for me to be heading back now.
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventurers Guild. Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites. We've already made some great friends in Sumeru City thanks to you.
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already been blessed by the element of Dendro after all. See you around.
Vabbè.
There's something really different about Catherine today.
Hey, traveler. Paimon.
Non ho capito in che senso. Il fatto che parla come una persona normale?
I've got something to tell ya. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she's been trying to come up with a way to help you. Well, I have an idea that might help.
Ma lei ha gli occhi da gatto? Io me ne sono appena
Might
accorto.
not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. I'll need to take you
Ha gli
to
occhi da
somewhere and
gatto
ask
con
someone some
le pupille
questions.
tagliate. Figo.
My lady is
Hmm.
feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a place for her to rest. After I take my lady home, let's meet in front of the Citadel of Regzar.
Regzar, ok.
Plan.
Va bene.
Let's head over to the Citadel.
Dove dobbiamo andare? Ok, è lontano. Ma sta cosa che si aprono le porte da sole, è incredibile. Aspetta, qua però c'è un qualcosa.
One with nature.
One with nature. Ancora più in alto? Come ci arrivavo ancora più in alto? Così. Questo posto somiglia un po' alla zona del nuovo Horizon Forbidden West, eh? Ah. Assai!
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port for a while because she was in a bad mood. Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you two, she probably would have been caught and dragged back much earlier.
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dia. Who would have thought you had such a soft spot for Dunyarzad?
Vabbè, ma è la sua signorina.
It's called being a professional. I'm a bodyguard, and I work for whoever's paying.
Eh sì. È la sua damigella, diciamo.
Dia's blushing.
Listen, you two.
Perché si copre le
Don't expect to be working
tette
for Miss Dunyarzad very
le parti
long,
intime?
but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord.
Speriamo.
Oh, hey, Chief.
Ma?
Dia, what are you doing here? And well, didn't expect to see you three together.
I take it you all know each other already?
Ah, fammi indovinare.
Guild pointed us to Osfand for more info.
Fammi indovinare, Asfand ha fatto quello gentile, ci ha dato una mezza informazione, ma in realtà lui sapeva molto di più, ma parla solamente con quelli del suo gruppo interno di cui si può fidare.
No kidding. Huh. So, where's Rukshah?
Ah, no.
I
Quanto
thought
pare
I'd
no.
help these two out by asking about the theft. Anything you can tell him?
Rukshaw's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumeru City to begin bolstering its defenses.
Ah, sì?
So people from all over have been called back to the city. Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose I might as well tell him what we know.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft? Sorry, what the heck are you guys
guys talking about?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance the item is connected with the Dendro Archon. This case might just somehow help you in meeting her.
Oh no.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. But if you ask me, the case is more about the Academia than anything
Hanno perso lo Gnosis di già? Hanno preso lo scacco del dendro?
A convoy to pick up an important package from Aru village. Word got out, and the convoy was robbed on its way back. The Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads. All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in Port Ormos.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you?
Sì.
It's the largest commercial
grossa
port in
città,
all of
quello che
Sumeru.
sappiamo.
You can travel there by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port Ormos, so the city's a little more laid back, meaning the population's also a mixed bag. You never know who you'll meet there.
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods. I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you, though. If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port Ormos and ask around yourselves. If you want my advice, try introducing yourselves as students of the Academia once you're there.
E perché?
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru City, you know. Why should they pretend to be students in Port Ormos?
If you're also interested, just go there and see what happens.
Count me out. I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani family. And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. Let's just say that the Eremites there aren't nearly as friendly as those here in Sumeru City. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for the Scarlet King." Word
Scarlet
is that
King?
more and more are joining their movement. They're becoming a real headache for Chief and the others.
You bet they are. The Scarlet King's been dead for thousands of years. Now they start spreading rumors of his return. Ridiculous.
Chi sarebbe questo Scarlet
Everyone's
King?
like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their own.
Vabbè, giustamente.
Well, traveler, that's about all the information we have for you.
Quindi quelli del deserto avevano questa divinità del Red King.
Since we've gathered all we could for the
Scarlet
moment
King.
in Sumeru City, let's head to Port Ormos and see what we can find next.
Miss
Ok,
Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sub-Zeru's festival, so be sure to get yourselves back here in time for that.
assolutamente,
Good.
non
Then
mancheremo.
we'll see you both at the Sub-Zeru's festival.
La sua armatura è bellissima, cazzo. Ok. Ah, minchia. Una bella passeggiata sarà. Ok, va bene, facciamo due chiacchiere su quello che abbiamo scoperto finora, allora. Nel senso che, bene o male, qualche informazione l'abbiamo avuta, seppur molto secondaria. Abbiamo scoperto che c'è una quasi rivalità, una mezza bisticciata fra quelli dell'Accademia e quelli del Bazar. E abbiamo scoperto che anche quelli di questo porto non sono particolarmente fedeli agli insegnamenti dell'Accademia. Insomma, questa Accademia sta un po' sul cazzo a tutti, in linea di massima, da quello che si è riuscito a capire finora. Non è proprio ben volutissima, se non da quegli stessi occupanti dell'Accademia e da magari... Wave Rider Point, what? Ma dai, posso prendere la barca volendo? Ma pensa. Dicevo, se non dagli stessi dell'Accademia... Ciao Flash, buonasera! E probabilmente, immagino, dagli abitanti della città. Però... non lo so, questa separazione netta fra... O meglio, in realtà non è tanto una separazione netta, è che ci sono tante piccole... diciamo, fazioni, mi verrebbe da dire per ora. Buonasera, caro, come va? Come va? Into the wind.
Time to go. One with nature.
Flash, ma tu quando ricominci la scuola? Olè, lago, perfetto. Eccoci qua. Allora, noi possiamo tirare dritto fondamentalmente, perché qui col cazzo che ci arriviamo dovremmo fare tipo tutto il giro da qui e poi da qui sopra e poi arrivare... No, dai. Penso che sia più comodo tirare dritto da qua e basta. A occhio e croce. Fit of the wind, yeah, dopo ci penserò. Grazie per il consiglio, ma no. Devo andare di là. Oh, guarda cosa c'è. Tutto mio. Ok, bentornato Flash. Come stai? Stavo dicendo innanzitutto come stai e in secondo luogo quando ricominci la scuola, che sono curioso.
The wind knows me.
The wind knows me. Sarebbe figo se lo potessi fare da un punto all'altro comunque. Cioè, senza dover farti questo mini viaggetto, diciamo. Attenzione.
Time to go.
Stai a vedere che ci sono nuovi reward per la pesca? Posso fare un nuovo... serendipity? Ah, ok, ma tanto io c'ho già quella cittata. End of the line. Ah, è un arco! Trigger floor del mental skill. Poi turn over an attack floor. Will be removed after 15 seconds. Sing 3 stems over the only one is be every 2 seconds. Floor can be triggered once every 12 seconds. Con energy recharge. Non credo che sia così eccezionale come roba. Non credo... Tutto bene? Non lo so, come non te l'hanno detto? Non dovresti scoprirlo a breve? Non ho capito a cosa serve. Vabbè, per ora prendiamo questo. Non possiamo prenderlo. Fuck. Prendiamo questo. E questo. Perfetto. Dobbiamo ricominciare a grindare pesci, mi sa. C'è un nuovo arco. Chissà se sarà forte come il The Catch. Dubito seriamente perché col The Catch hanno quasi rotto il gioco. È davvero forte come lancia per essere una roba che puoi prendere praticamente gratis solo sbattendoti un po' a pescare. Però spero che sia forte come il The Catch. Non mi pare perché a giudicare da... Abbiamo finito... Oh, abbiamo finito il necessario per iniziare la quest. Fantastico. Exquisite camera, ma già ce l'abbiamo, no? Un exquisite camera. Non abbiamo già l'exquisite camera noi? No, abbiamo la special camera. Ok. A buon uso ti ricordo che sono più intelligenti della scuola intera praticamente. Hanno l'organizzazione che fa schifo. Perfetto. Fantastico. Molto bene. Ma piuttosto, tu a che punto sei con l'esplorazione di Sumeru? Hai già cominciato? Ti stai dando da fare?
Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with pride and experience.
Signorina, non so se lo sa, ma non si urla. Cioè, si urla al mercato di solito. Non è che si dice venite, venite, abbiamo la roba buona. No, un po' più di enfasi, devono sentirti tutti dal mercato.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my business.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict.
Sono indietro,
But does the
perfetto.
core of 30 care?
Ma più indietro di me, eh?
And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Guess that's only to be expected for the largest port in Sumeru.
Sì, minchia. Non hai giocato un cazzo proprio.
Earlier, but Paimon can't seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds.
Ci stiamo cacando sotto proprio, Ma tanto, guarda, fidati.
We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, we don't have much else to go on. Osvan told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any research facilities in Port Ormos. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and asking about the stolen item?
In effetti ha ragione Paimon, nel senso, perché dovremmo dire... Però ce l'ha detto molto chiaramente, fareste meglio a dire che siete studenti dell'Accademia. Può essere che loro vogliano farci arrivare della gente brutta addosso per rendere le cose un po' più veloci. Nel senso, ok, probabilmente quando la gente scoprirà che voi siete dell'Accademia cercherà di farvi fuori. Quando trovate quelli che vogliono farvi fuori, molto probabilmente troverete anche quelli che hanno rubato l'oggetto. Potrebbe essere una mossa interessante, però magari gliel'avrei fatta, cioè gliel'avrei spiegata un attimino prima, se davvero fosse così. Certo, va bene. Si può fare.
Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you too?
Hi there. We'd like to ask you a question. Do students from the Academia ever come to Port Ormos?
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the Academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the Academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos.
Addirittura.
So students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the Academia. Ah, you see over there? Those are students from the Academia.
Sembrano molto seri, addirittura forse un po' preoccupati.
They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Perfetto.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
Andiamo a vedere.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them.
Addirittura.
What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Akhmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the Academia.
Ah, ecco perché
because
allora.
the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ein El Hakmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Minchia, $500,000 è tantino, però, solo per delle info, eh.
If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
Cosa state cercando più che altro?
Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon. Is knowledge something people just buy and sell like that?
A quanto pare, uno serve dell'Accademia was read the knowledge. E quindi molto probabilmente stanno parlando della stessa cosa che cerchiamo noi.
So, what's your plan?
E... andiamo al Jafar Tavern.
Didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 mora! Have you lost your mind?
I will let them off easy if it turns out... No, molto semplicemente possiamo pagare e poi far saltare in aria il posto. Tanto abbiamo Klee. Cazzo ce ne frega.
All right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Perché temo di aver fatto una pessima scelta? Cioè, mi sa che tipo... la scelta era tipo paga 500,000 di mora oppure vai a combattere. E mi sa che io ho preso la scelta sbagliata, che è quella di non combattere e pagare i soldi. Ma io non voglio assolutamente pagare un centesimo per queste informazioni. Non se ne parla minimamente. Quanta verticalità però. Porca puttana, cado. I bonghi. Perfetto. Dicevamo. Ed è subito Bollywood. Le farfalline.
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group.
Aspettiamo un po'.
Oh, you've arrived. Please take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion.
Caracal Battalion,
They've also
okay.
amassed a significant amount of more this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick mora?
Yeah, with Boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
All these guys talk about is the Scarlet King, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Sembrerebbe.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
E perché dovrebbe essere un traditore?
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that.
O meglio, una traditrice. Mi scusi.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want?
Sono uno studente dell'Accademia.
What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos?
È normale che vengano. Sto cercando informazioni riguardo un qualcosa.
Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Tieni 50 amore, vedi di farteli bastare che finisce male, te lo dico. Te lo dico che finisce male. Adoro che lo fa, che la faccia come detto. No, pigliasti 50 amore. No, non voglio dargli 500k. No. No.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Ho un'altra domanda.
We heard you mention the Scarlet King just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're
Fine.
Ma che cazzo
Since
stai
you've already
dicendo?
handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeria.
Addirittura?
The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
Ok.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord
Ruka
Capodocazzo.
Yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies.
Oh.
Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh. Just thinking about it sickens me.
Ma hai qualche prova di questo?
But the story doesn't end there, oh no. The Scarlet King isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the Scarlet King.
Puoi dirci qualcosa in più dell'oracolo?
I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Puoi ridarmi i
Not just
miei
yet.
500...
This man is a fraud.
You again? Deranged Academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again.
Oh boy.
I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you. Listen to me.
Che
That address he
occhi.
gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show
Che
up, they keep up the
peccato.
act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the more you're worth.
Che peccato.
Shut it all, Hatham.
Dobbiamo menar le
Trying
mani?
to ruin our business like this, hmm?
Non provano neanche a far finta che non sia vero?
I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you, don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the Academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Teyvat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this.
Dai, ti prego.
Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Oh no.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp.
Ah.
Don't expect us to hold back.
Minchia, una settimana vi ci vuole per organizzarvi. Mamma mia.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Bravo. Io volevo
Please, I beg
pestarli.
you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Perché che problema c'è?
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Stava facendo il kebab, l'ho visto lì dietro che stava girando.
We got us our Mora back, but sent the Amorites running too. Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions.
Sì, perché altrimenti non sappiamo che cazzo fa. Non abbiamo più altre alternative. Guarda, guarda, c'è il kebab. Ma che bello. È un kebabaro questo. Ma che storia. Al-Haytham. Non mi ricorderò mai e poi mai sto nome. Grazie per l'aiuto.
No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed.
Perfetto.
We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your Mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Ciao.
Hold your horses. We still have something to ask you about. Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two?
Sì, infatti forse non dovremmo fare queste domande a lui, perché se noi gli diciamo che siamo studenti dell'Accademia, ho come l'impressione che lui sappia che non lo siamo, e anzi lui sia proprio dell'Accademia.
A student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Sì, swordplay, voglio pestare. Sì, meniamoci.
Oh, yeah, she's really strong. Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
She doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not.
Try me,
She
bitch.
can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from
Sì, sì, Paimon, ti capisco. Sì, non lo so dire neanche io, non me lo ricordo.
gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck.
Okay.
We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
Ok.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
Noi non sappiamo neanche cosa stiamo cercando, questa cosa è fantastica.
500,000 Mora for something and you didn't even know what it was?
Io volevo solo menare le mani.
Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been
Mi
making
sembra un buon
inquiries,
trade.
then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
Ok.
We know it's connected to the Academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too. What else?
Ha a che fare con la conoscenza e anche con
You
l'Archon.
know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
E che cazzo è?
Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who
Knowledge
visits
imparato
a
in
personal
latina.
Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents.
Ok, chiunque.
Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
Ah, però.
It's amazing.
Ma che cosa? Ma è un'altra, cioè non è quella che ha in mano
It's
lui, sarà
essentially
un'altra
a convenient
capsula.
and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them.
E
They
perché?
were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use.
Ah.
But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, There will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to Mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia students.
Questa cosa è un concetto un po' strano, perché io faccio un po' fatica a comprenderlo, no? Nel senso che è conoscenza, è come tipo un tomo di arti marziali segreto, no? Magari tramandato di generazione in generazione da maestro in maestro e robe così. Però allo stesso tempo non riesco a capire come mai quelli dell'Accademia abbiano qualcosa da nascondere, diciamo. Perché comunque, cioè, il processo è l'albero della conoscenza crea queste capsule. Queste capsule arrivano all'Accademia. E poi cosa succede? L'Accademia decide quali di queste capsule deve andare nell'Aksha? No, loro le inseriscono a prescindere nell'Aksha, ma poi dicono solo un tot di persone può accedere a questa informazione, un altro tot di persone può accedere a quest'altra informazione, eccetera, eccetera. Cioè, quindi è come se fosse praticamente un database di informazioni, ma su più livelli di autorizzazione. Quindi autorizzazione bassa puoi ottenere solo 100 informazioni, autorizzazione media ne puoi ottenere 200, autorizzazione alta 300 e così via. Credo che l'idea sia questa. Però chiaramente, cioè quindi praticamente le capsule è come se facessero appunto leakare le informazioni che solo alcuni possono vedere nell'Aksha. Ma se questa cosa si sa, perché la gente accetta questa cosa? Cioè, Sumeru è il paese della conoscenza e della cultura e nonostante ciò la conoscenza e la cultura vengono, diciamo, tolte dalle mani degli abitanti? Non l'ho capita sta cosa. Cioè, perché nessuno si ribella? È strano, no? Stiamo parlando comunque di informazioni che l'albero della conoscenza ha voluto condividere, quindi perché solo alcuni dovrebbero essere in grado di attenere, cioè di prendere questa conoscenza? Tata, non ti rifare le unghie sulle mie ciabatte, per favore, grazie, gentilissimo.
Well, I think that about sums it up.
Ma che strano. E quindi hanno perso la knowledge capsule.
So that's your true objective.
Vogliamo saperne di più.
With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer.
Ma forse possiamo negoziare.
You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people.
Sì, vabbè. Minchia, 2 passi da qua dobbiamo andare. Iron Shank. Tutto mio.
Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with something. I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant.
Ah, intendi Diona 2.0.
Inferior knowledge capsules. She often has quality goods in stock. Some say that as long as there is profit to be made, there is nothing she won't dare to sell.
Perfetto.
She's guarded against people from the Academia because most of her wares don't comply with Academia regulations.
Fantastico.
I think she blacklisted me.
No, come?
I met with her informant, but it soon became clear that they had no intention of letting me get any further.
E tu l'hai pestato.
Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust. This is my condition for further collaboration.
Sounds good. Si può fare.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privileges.
Fine. So how do we go about doing this?
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you the informant's address and their contact password.
Interessante.
Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have up her sleeve. You'll have to improvise.
Non ti preoccupare, ce la caveremo, qualsiasi cosa sia.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for Mora and a shrewd eye for wares. and she only likes customers who she deems to have good taste. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest quality wares and earn her approval.
What? We only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time. We don't know how to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad. Is that something
Beh, in effetti è strana sta cosa. Cioè, come fai a riconoscerle?
Have you two heard of elemental sight?
Oh, come no? Certo.
Oh, that's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue. Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
Vediamo.
They look the same to Paimon.
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
Ah, uno risplende.
How'd it go? Did you see anything?
Sì. Quella a sinistra
Rumor has it
risplende.
that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight. That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy.
Ha senso.
However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in contemporary times, so those capsules are of little value. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning Dory's trust.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the mora for purchasing canned knowledge. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any mora left over, just keep it. Oh, and be sure to exercise some caution. There have been Matra present in Port Ormos lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Cazzo sono i Matra?
Matra?
Sono tipo le guardie? Sono i pulotti? Gli sbirri?
Belong to the
Sono gli
Academia's
sbirri, sì.
regulatory body.
Perfetto, sono gli sbirri.
They also handle cases of illegal canned knowledge transactions. Like I said, the Academia has banned both their trade and possession. The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out, now's the time.
Ma figurati.
Okay, then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the Wikela Funduk. We'll have an open discussion then.
Va bene.
Looking at what Al-Haytham wrote, Dory's informant is a traitor near Old Ormos. Let's follow these instructions and try to get
Latish.
Hello. What are you two looking to buy?
Informazioni.
What a unique palette. We have unripe horror fruits, but we usually keep them in the back. I'll have someone escort you.
Following the paper got us past the first round.
Ah, c'erano delle istruzioni.
These two want to buy unripe
Oopsie.
horror fruits. Show them to the warehouse.
Got it. You two, please follow me.
Non ci ho fatto caso.
You two have a fascinating fashions.
Aspetta, dove sono le info? Qua. Sarà qui, no? Eccolo qua. Unripe hard fruits. Ask information to take you to Dory. For informant to take you to Dory. We're a morning flower. Looking to buy canned knowledge. Quindi morning flowers, ok? We're some rose. Looking to buy products legally available in the market. Ok, mouse customer. Rich Bolan Tiger Matra taken by mice, sold to customer, confiscated by a Matra. Packing Sumeru City style, packing a small amount in bulk. Complementing a customer skill correspond to horror fruit. Addition of horror fruit cause a heat stroke. Customer skill. Che cazzo vuol dire quest'ultima parte? Ma in generale perché dovrei usarlo? Vabbè, adesso lo capiamo. Aspetta un attimo, cos'è sta roba? Almighty Arataki Great and Glorious Dramalong Festival. Ok, invitation, ok. Ma io più che altro ho ancora tipo questi sacchi. Huge bag of Mora di Child che non so come scambiare. Questo bag of transaction fund. Vabbè.
wearing morning flowers.
Non ho capito.
my mistake. I do apologize.
Ah, ok.
That pop quiz sure was scary.
Puoi muoverti un po' più veloce, grazie.
Follow me.
Dai, muoviti, ti prego. Please. Eh? Questa location including a request. Please check the details. The unappreciated carving. Ah? Quindi mi stai dicendo che devo fare prima la roba dell'evento? Oh no, ma è in alto. Faremo così. Into the wind.
One with nature. Port Ormos is pretty great. There's so many new and interesting things. Not to mention all the tasty food. Sumeru's largest commercial port sure lives up to its name. Look at all the merchants. And everyone seems excited just to be here.
Tu sei la più eccitata per me.
How did things end up like this?
All thanks to your artistic license. That's how. I should have made you wait until we got an update from Tanja.
But when I finished the prototype Aranara yesterday, you agreed that the kids would like it. That's why we tried bringing it out for a test run today.
Well, I never thought they'd dislike it so much.
Quanto muscoloso lui però comunque. Somigliava tipo a Hercules, quello della serie degli anni 90.
Oh, what should we do?
Eccolo là, loro sono molto meno eccitati.
Yeah. Compared to everyone else, they seem really down in the dumps. Let's go find out what's going on.
Sì.
Hey there! Paimon's name is Paimon, and she's a traveler who was just passing by. Is there something bothering you?
Oh, I noticed you two a moment ago. Welcome to Akara Crafts, the best toy store in Port Ormos. At least for now. What's bothering us is this prototype Aranara. To start with, could I get your opinion on it?
Prototype Aranara? You mean this wood carving here? It looks like a mushroom monster to Paimon.
Effettivamente sembra il nome di un'arma.
Oh, no.
Tipo il prototype Rancor.
Is something that brings joy and laughter to children.
Una roba.
At least in theory.
Infatti.
Not the first negative feedback we've had.
So, what exactly is a prototype Aranara?
So for context, Aranara are magical creatures in Sumeru fairy tales that live in the forest. For the store's 20th anniversary, we plan to release a series of hand-carved toys based on the Aranara stories that kids know and love. This is a prototype we made to get an idea of how they would react. When we put it out there, the reaction was not quite what we'd anticipated.
Perfetto.
They thought it looked like a mushroom too, huh?
No, worse than that, actually.
Addirittura.
I can't quite describe it, though. And I'm also not very good with kids. Maybe you could ask them for yourselves.
Facciamolo. Uè, bimbi di merda. Come?
This is not an Aranara. No way.
Che cazzo ne sai tu?
Uncle Tanja's Aranara and the ill little fungus. It says that Aranara are supposed to be chubby and squishy. The carving looks nothing like that.
Ok. Quindi un po' più cicciottello dovrebbe essere. Poco ma sicuro.
Uncle Tonder said in Aranara's vow
la Madonna.
Peter put his heart into it at all. It's nothing like an R&R.
Addirittura lost and confused inside. Perché non ti piace un gioco. Ma sta
Sounds
proprio
like one of those things that's easier said than understood.
Kassid and Alia didn't like this carving, but I think it's okay.
Bravo, Rookie.
It doesn't look too happy, so it's kind of pitiful in a cute way.
Povero.
No. A positive review.
Yeah, so I would totally ask my dad to get it for me, if it wasn't meant to be a Nara Nara.
Perfetto.
Well, that took a sudden turn for the worse. We asked the children.
Non alla grande. Non alla grande.
How did it go? Has it maybe, grown on them? Oh, this is such a shame. Why isn't Tondra back from Gandharvaville yet?
Oh, the kids kept mentioning an Uncle Tondra too. Who is he exactly?
Sarà uno capace di scolpire decentemente, immagino.
Uncle Tondra is a famous children's author here in Port Ormos. He
un
wrote
autore
quite a
di
few
storie,
stories in the past, but none of them were popular among children. Just like our prototype Aranara. But around a year or so ago, he suddenly had a eureka moment or something, and suddenly the children loved every one of his stories.
That's right. My little Ghaffari loves his stories too. The whole reason we decided to make these carvings was because we saw just how popular the Aranara are among children. We asked Tanja for guidance, but right after he agreed, he went off to Gandharvaville with his son to look for inspiration.
Oh no.
They haven't returned yet. We were running out of time, so we had no choice but to carve an Aranara based on our own imaginations. As you can see, this was the result.
Oh, we have to do something. Hey, since you're the famous traveler, could you do us a favor and look for Tondra in Gandharvaville, he doesn't have to come in person if he's too busy. Just ask him to write down his suggestions and bring his notes back to us, if you could.
Ci sono diventato un postino, praticamente.
If only to put a smile on the children's faces.
Dimmi te.
And, of course, you'll be well compensated for doing us the favor.
They seem pretty desperate. Let's help them out. To see the kids smile. And also for our reward.
Guarda, dei bambini non me ne può fregare tre cazzi di meno, ti giuro, lo faccio solo per Paimon. Solo per Paimon. Solo per Paimon e per i reward. Ok. Posso andare avanti con la mia missione adesso? Ok. Perfetto. Mi sono già dimenticato cosa dicevano gli appunti. Allora, abbiamo detto Morning Flower, l'abbiamo detto. Mouse Customer, Rishbolan Tiger sarebbero gli sbirri. Taken, ok. Packing Sumeru City Style, pochi. Port Osmos Style, tanti. Customer of skill corresponds to Harra Fruit that cause dizziness and ringing. Ok. Spero di ricordarlo, vabbè. Che strana sta cosa che non potevamo andare avanti senza quella missione.
Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our Hara fruits were taken by mice.
Congratulations to you.
Thanks. If better goods come in, you'll be the first to know.
Perfetto.
You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
Some skill era quello che... No, questo qua. Something that causes heat stroke. Giusto? No, come no?
The paper said that heat stroke is the answer to
ma infatti però non c'era l'altro.
Eating something that causes heat stroke sounds horrifying.
Perché invece il suono il fischio in te... Oh, ma dai.
I'm sorry. But as they...
He's cautious of us.
Bastardo maledetto.
No,
è che non si era capito. Era strano. Me l'ha detta lui la cosa giusta, scusa.
Before I retreat, please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our Hara fruits were taken by mice.
Bravi. Carina però sta cosa, è una nuova meccanica. Cioè non è così nuova perché c'era anche tipo negli incontri. Was that a twin?
Yep, that's the right answer. But eating Hara fruit that makes your head and ears ring?
Infatti.
Like a bad life decision.
Fa comunque schifo.
Would you like your Hara fruits to be packaged in the Sumeru City or Port Ormos style?
Port Ormos.
Wow, you two sure are generous customers. We'll be sure to package your products beautifully. Okay. Everything has been confirmed. Miss Dory is waiting for you up at... Shoot! It's the Matra! Run!
Cosa corri? No, 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 pestiamo tutti.
Matcha? Where? I'll hate them so we're done for if they catch us. We gotta get out of here.
Io voglio menar le mani.
Area, so let's follow that informant.
Che cazzo?
He ran that way.
Dove? Mica ho capito. Dove? Dove cazzo è andato? Su? Credo su. Un altro coso.
Into the wind.
Into the wind. No, ho sbagliato.
Look, he's over there.
Si sta salendo, abbiamo capito. Cioè, non è... Sta salendo in cima. Arrivo, arrivo.
Another password. Oh, that voice came from a...
Perfetto, siamo arrivati.
Here, over here.
Diona!
You can stop
Ah no,
running
aspetta.
now.
Con le manine.
So you were the one who was calling out to us just now. But are we definitely gonna be safe here?
Nah.
These two good customers wish to buy some horror fruit, Miss Dory. And if there's nothing else, I'll just excuse myself.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Ha le gambe storte, perché i piedi...
Wait,
Cosa?
you're Dory? I'm unsure thought you'd look a whole lot scarier. Hey, what are you trying to say, Princess Pea-Brain? I can be scary enough when I need to be, believe you me. If you don't watch what you say, then you can forget about doing any business. But it seems you two have actually done pretty well so far. Not only did you manage to find the informant, your reactions were also pretty sharp. You don't really look like criminals or anything, but I bet my Mora that you've been involved in some shady dealings, haven't you?
Un pochino. In passato.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment, but we'll take it.
Abbiamo aiutato una ribellione contro un Archon. Robe del genere, insomma. Niente di importante alla fine dei conti.
Not only will they get caught by the Matra, but they'll also get us into trouble. As decent folks trying to run an honest business. We don't need any of that. Wouldn't you agree?
Certo.
So that's why I prefer to have customers like you.
Perfetto.
It's your first time here, but don't worry, I won't ask too many questions. Even if you wish to buy enough knowledge capsules to decorate your house with, please, knock yourself out. As long as you have lots of round, shiny Mora, then we're all good.
Sì, facci vedere la mercanzia però. Che detto una bambina forse non è proprio il massimo, però insomma, ci siamo capiti. Era... Abbastanza.
What kind of products do you seek, my dear customers? Don't worry, I'm not interested in your reasons for buying. I can, however, offer some suggestions. Take this one, for example. An analysis of the sociological ideology and dialectics of the Hilichurls. Only 3 people in all of Teyvat have ever studied it, making it extremely
Questo piacerebbe un sacco a Ella Musk.
now for 350,000.
Glielo compriamo per il compleanno. Quando fa il compleanno Ella Musk?
Wanna be an expert in that topic?
Ma come? Non conosciamo?
How about the architectural styles and construction methods of Teyvat in the early Archon War period?
Questo sarebbe perfetto per discutere con Zhongli.
In historic architecture preservation and find an excellent, well-paying job in nearly any nation. Ooh, now this sounds like it could be useful. 2 million more.
Minchia.
And it's yours. No discounts.
No, vorremmo qualcosa di un po' più frizzantino in realtà.
Of course, you are free to pick whatever your hearts desire. The contents and price of each knowledge capsule are indicated in small text on the body of each one, down at the bottom.
Che precisione, però. Organizzatissimo. Vai. Sono tutte sbrilluccicose. No, in realtà sono solo 3. Questo qua. E questo? E pure quest'altro.
You've really got a good head on your shoulders and quite the eye for quality.
We can choose a variety of kind of knowledge. Vabbè, tanto i soldi ce li ha dati Coso. Azzazi Saz.
My oh my, you are blessed with a taste for both the exquisite and the extravagant. Customers like you are a rare breed. 1 in 100. No, 1 in 1,000 even. Listen, I have a special offer for you two. If you spend just 100,000 more, you can pick any knowledge capsule of your choice up to a value of 1 million mora. Say what now?
Sembra interessante.
Hey, did you hear that? Spend another 100k and we get a capsule worth a whole million.
Sì, però ci sta un po' scammando perché gli altri non valgono un cazzo, mi sa.
The canned knowledge we just bought is easily worth 500,000 mora. If we spend just a little more, we can get something worth 1 million mora.
No, ho detto fino a
Deal?
1 milione.
Think about it. We've gone to all this trouble to get this canned knowledge. And so
Oh,
far, everything we bought belongs to all Hatham. Aren't you even the least bit curious about how this whole canned knowledge thing works? We're talking instant knowledge here. Don't you want to try it yourself?
Però in realtà ha anche un po' ragione, nel senso che 100k per noi sono bruscolini, no? Potremmo anche permettercelo, solo per capire un po' come funziona. Io sarei molto curioso.
Still have around 100,000 of Al-Haytham's moral left. So let's put it to good use by finding something useful for you. Ahem. You've got a deal, Dory. We'd like to spend an extra 100,000 mora.
Excellent. And then please, select from this fine collection of canned knowledge over here.
Hold on a second. Paimon thought we could choose whatever we wanted. Why can't
Perché ci ha scammato Paimon, è ovvio, no?
Oh, but my dear customer, the knowledge capsules over here are worth 1 million mora each. I'm sure discerning customers like yourselves will be able to find something to your liking. Please, take your time.
È tutta spazzatura, vero?
Paimon has a bad feeling about this. Let's use Elemental Sight again to check these.
Dai, diamo un'occhiata. Sono tutti scam. Sono tutti scam.
What did you see?
Si fanno tutti cagare.
They're all worth about the same amount?
Che è molto basso, però.
Well, anyway, the more has already been spent, so let's at least try to find something useful. Let Paimon take a look here. An introduction to traditional Sumeru brewing techniques, the art of growing spices, an overview of ancient runes. Oh, how about this one? Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Not sure
Davvero?
we'd ever find volumes 1 through 7, but at least this knowledge should be useful, right? Let's go with this one.
I guess. Non credo che ne abbiamo bisogno, onestamente, considerando che riusciamo tranquillamente a fare un 36 stelle dell'Abyss. Però va bene. Contenta te.
All right, very good. I'm expecting some new goods in the next couple days, so be sure to check back again soon. Whether it's canned knowledge or anything else you need, bring your mora to Dory and doors will open.
Our dealings with Dory went smoothly enough. Let's head to Wakala Funduk and meet up with Al-Haytham.
Mi sento scammato, posso dirlo. Posso dirlo. Posso dirlo. Cosa me ne faccio di questa cosa? You have no idea where the first 7 in the series are, but things like combat techniques will always be useful. Well, probably. Perfetto. Vabbè, tanto non abbiamo pagato un centesimo di tasca nostra. È tutto dalle tasche di Azaz. Non mi ricorderò mai i nomi di sta gente. Dory ancora riesco, perché si chiama come un bar qui in centro.
You two made it.
All'itam.
And from the looks on your
All'ala.
faces,
Ok.
you were successful.
Whoa. There's so many people from the academia here. Why would you pick this place as our meetup spot?
Well, Wakela Funduk is under the Academia's control, so naturally the Academia has people working here. I came to Port Ormos under the pretense of conducting official business.
You're a pretty daring guy.
Relax. No one here is interested in anything we say, and the Matcha won't come here. Okay, now, tell me how your encounter with Dory went.
Ci ha mezzo scammati, ma noi abbiamo scammato lei. Quindi siamo pari più o meno.
Can you tell us about the knowledge capsule that the academia lost now?
Before that, I have to ask, why are you two so intent on tracking it down? You don't have to answer.
Dobbiamo incontrare Kusanali.
To meet the god of wisdom and ask her about something important.
Sì, vuole solo incontrare un dio.
For a while now,
Niente di che.
but we still haven't found a way. When we heard that the academia had lost something that might be related to the gods, we came here in case it turned out to be our lucky break.
In that case, you're on the right track.
Attenzione.
A short while ago, the Academia lost a knowledge capsule in the desert. It's supposedly a divine knowledge capsule.
Minchia.
Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods.
Beh, interessante quantomeno.
Such a thing as that? Hey, if we find it, do you think we could learn how to meet the Dendro Archon? Ooh, or even how to find your brother?
I highly doubt it has any mystical properties, but it does indeed exist. And it's right here, in Port Ormos.
So, where exactly?
That's what we need to find out next.
Quindi anche tu lo stai
I won't deny
cercando.
that. I am investigating because I'm curious as to what the divine knowledge capsule truly is. As you know, the Eremites in Port Ormos also have their eyes on it. It is an extremely precious item. The knowledge contained within may bring great power or wealth to whoever has it in their possession. Several brigades have been vying for ownership of it as of late, but there is still no victor. My personal finances and connections cannot compete with those of the Eremites.
Ah, addirittura? Pensavo fossi uno piazzato
I
bene.
finally managed to reach a tentative agreement with several brigades.
Ok.
I agreed to forego ownership of the divine knowledge capsule in exchange for the opportunity to study it. After all, there's no harm in understanding what it is. However, there are those who are less amenable to negotiation, such as those from Ain al-Ahmar. They adamantly believe that the divine knowledge capsule contains the Scarlet King's power, and that he will return to this world when they obtain it. They refuse to let anyone from the Academia tarnish their deity's soul.
Questi estremisti religiosi. Mannaggina.
Yes. Ain al-Ahmar isn't exactly wealthy, but its members are determined to get that capsule by any means necessary. To that end, they've resorted to many methods more foul than fair in order to amass sufficient funds. So, I've been sabotaging their business to force them into negotiating with me.
Mi sembra un
The
ottimo
divine
modo.
knowledge capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days. Each brigade will place their own bid, and the prize will be covertly given to the winner. To ensure the capsule's security and to evade the mantra's notice, the winning brigade will not publicly disclose their victory. Unless I know whose hands the divine knowledge capsule ends up in, my agreements with them will fall through. Dory is the most reliable source of information, but that avenue was previously closed to me. With you on board now, the situation is different.
Okay.
In other words, you wanted us to befriend Dory so you could find out where the divine knowledge capsule is.
Yes, you can say that. But this arrangement harms none of us. The day after tomorrow, go back to Dory and try to purchase information on the divine knowledge capsule's whereabouts. If she has no information, wait 2 days and approach her again. If I get the opportunity to study the divine knowledge capsule, I will relay my findings to you. Will that suffice as compensation?
Ma ci dobbiamo fidare? Beh, dai, lui si è fidato di noi, quindi a sto punto.
Then we'll meet up in 2 days.
Ok.
Haytham, before you go, we actually bought a knowledge capsule for ourselves, but We're not sure how to use it.
Sono
You
pieno di
two want to
peli.
try using a knowledge capsule? Sure, I can teach you.
Vai.
Doing so right under the Academia's nose is a bit problematic, though. What do you say we head to the outskirts of town?
Vai. Mi butto. La faccio finita. Non ci sono i cosini dalla quale fare Spider-Man.
All right, this place works. Show me the capsule you purchased.
Here.
Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Huh. A combat class knowledge capsule. This class is something of a rare find these days, since most have been taken by the Eremites to augment their battle capabilities.
Sono praticamente come le MT dei Pokémon.
If you
Le
want
MT
to
e le
determine the
MN.
efficacy of this capsule, I can evaluate your combat ability. However, effects will likely be minimal if you already possess a high amount of strength. We can conduct a controlled experiment where you fight 2 battles, one before using this knowledge capsule and one after. While you fight, we can use an Akasha terminal to monitor your various physical parameters. There may be variances in your physical strength between the 2 tests, as well as a disparity in your opponent's abilities. But don't worry, I'll run statistical analyses afterward to mitigate any confounding effects.
Ok.
Wow. Oh, hey, them. You must have been one of those guys at the Academia who got top grades on everything. Paimon's curious about something, though. You definitely weren't one of those students who needed canned knowledge to graduate from the Academia, right? So, why are you risking getting caught by the Matra for this capsule?
Beh, perché stiamo parlando di una capsula particolarmente succosa,
When
immagino,
you are unable
no?
to understand a researcher's actions, most cases can be attributed to curiosity.
Ah.
This is but one theory.
Ok.
Sounds like you're trying to avoid the question.
Però in
All
effetti
right,
stiamo parlando di
let's begin the
conoscenze
test.
di livello
Just fight as you
divino.
normally do.
Anche se le hai, che cazzo ci puoi fare? Combattiamo? Combattiamo. Si pesta.
One with nature.
Questo me lo chiami combattimento? Era un combattimento quello.
All right. I'll link your Akasha terminal to record data. The next step is to use this knowledge capsule.
Vai.
Hold it in your hand. I'll help you establish a connection with it so you can activate its power.
Vabbè, you may use the canon knowledge. Oh no, l'ho usato davvero. Ma io lo volevo tenere nell'inventario all'infinito. As if I saw countless sword-wielding figures fighting one moment and then the next is appearing to the recess of my memory. Ok. Cool.
How are you feeling?
Conosco il Kung Fu, come disse in Chuck. Whatever was it said, part of my memory.
You mean that it worked?
Boh, potenzialmente
All right.
sì.
Time for round 2. Fight with the same composure as before.
Va bene, dottor. Sono più forti i nemici? Su quelli di prima?
Into the wind.
Più. Non credo che sia cambiato assolutamente nulla.
Now, I'll start recording data again.
Oh, hey, Thumb. How's it going?
Li abbiamo stompati, vero?
Well, the knowledge capsule you purchased did improve her combat capability. During the second fight, her overall fighting performance increased by 0.073%.
Niente, praticamente.
How much?
Praticamente zero. Esattamente. Abbiamo sprecato 100.000 mora.
Jerk! She totally scammed us! 1 million mora? This thing isn't worth a tenth of that!
Non credo, penso che sia il
Of
contrario.
course, this could be because she is so powerful that the capsule's contents were unable to produce a substantial increase. At the very least, This test allowed me to gain more insight into you two. Our deal seems increasingly
Bravo.
worth my investment.
Quindi non mi scammare, che sennò
I'm
finisce
heading back
male.
to Akela Funduk. I await your response in 2 days' time. This is Mora for when you ask Dory for information. Pay her as much as she requests.
Quanto cazzo deve essere ricco sto qua comunque per darci Mora così a destra e a manca. Beh, vabbè. E va bene. Wait until 70 days from now. Ma direi che per stasera ci fermiamo qui. Serata non troppo lenta. Un po' in realtà, perché combattimenti praticamente zero, perché questi non li considero neanche combattimenti, dai, facciamo i seri. È stata un po' lenta come serata, sì, però d'altro canto è anche vero che in fin dei conti ci ha spiegato un bel po' di roba. Abbiamo conosciuto All'Allala, abbiamo scoperto dello Scarlet King, del fatto che vogliono riportarlo in vita, di questa storia che Greater Lord Ratatatata in realtà era uno scam. Abbiamo conosciuto Dory, abbiamo conosciuto Nilo, abbiamo conosciuto la ragazza, quella là con l'armatura fighissima e gli occhi da gatta. C'è da stringere un po' i denti e andare avanti. Purtroppo questa è la parte iniziale della trama, non c'è davvero niente di particolarmente succoso da trarre. Sta mettendo giù le basi per quelle che saranno le vicende di Sumeru. Non possiamo. Per ora non abbiamo trovato nulla di interessante, ma non mi aspettavo neanche nulla di interessante, onestamente. L'unica cosa che mi lascia un po' perplesso è sul fatto che noi per ora non. Cioè, che noi fino a una settimana fa non potevamo arrivare a Sumeru. E non ho ben capito il perché. Nel senso che quando il gioco è nato, con Mondstadt e Liyue già esplorabili, uno si faceva entrambe le zone, a posto, già dal giorno 1 tu potevi girare. Poi è stato aggiunto il come cazzo si chiama? Il Dragon, quello, insomma, la montagna quella innevata, ok? E Dragon's Terror, una roba così. Però è relativamente inutile per quanto riguarda la trama complessiva, se non ricordo male, no? Non mi pare che ci siano state missioni principali in quell'area, e quindi quella l'hanno aggiunto dopo, e pazienza. Quando hanno aggiunto Inazuma c'era un motivo ben specifico per il quale il giocatore non ci poteva andare, ovvero perché c'era il Vision Hunt di Kree e quindi il Raiden Shogun impediva a chiunque di avvicinarsi all'isola e gli ospiti non erano i ben graditi. Quindi c'è un motivo logico per il quale noi non potevamo andare in Azuma, ma per quanto riguarda Sumeru, semplicemente non potevamo andarci perché c'erano i confini chiusi? Non mi pare, perché Lisa è andata e tornata, no? O comunque anche Colley stava a Mondstadt fino a qualche tempo fa, quindi non mi sembra così terribile come situazione. Non abbiamo ricevuto una spiegazione sensata del perché noi non potessimo arrivare a Sumeru prima di oggi. Questa cosa un po' mi lascia infastidito, devo essere sincero, perché avevo apprezzato molto il modo in cui avevano spiegato l'impossibilità di raggiungere Inazuma. Fra l'altro si trovava pure su un'isola, cioè su delle isole, quindi lontano dalle zone che già conoscevamo a Mondstadt e Liyue. Sumeru era letteralmente a 2 passi dal Chasm. Ecco, forse l'unica cosa che mi viene da pensare è il fatto che, è vero, potrebbe essere il Chasm la motivazione, perché l'unico modo per arrivare a Sumeru è tramite il Chasm, che però era precluso a chiunque fino a poco tempo fa. Ok. Forse questa cosa potrebbe essere sensata, non ci avevo pensato, va bene. Comunque, signore e signori, detto questo io vi saluto, un bacione, grazie mille per essere passati, per stasera concludiamo qui, ci becchiamo domani sera alle 9 come al solito. Statemi bene, un bacione, a domani belli.